Good evening, you're watching Estuary News. Coming up, we meet Mia, Humberside Police's drug sniffer dog. We hit the streets to ask you about financial pressures to keep a roof over your head. And my guest tonight is Ray Drury from the Everyman Club of Great Grimsby, who's here to tell us about the group. Welcome to Estuary News. I'm Emma Lingard. Now it's over to Erica Barker for the news headlines.
Don't be pressured into putting yourself at risk. That's the message from Humberside Police as they launched their Stay Safe This Summer campaign. They say from taking drugs to sexual activity, whether that's physically or through sexting or online chat rooms, peer pressure can take many forms. Drug and alcohol use among young people and the number of under-16s getting pregnant in our region is above the national average. They are offering guidance and support to youngsters. East Riding of Yorkshire Council has served an abatement notice on Yorkshire Water following investigating complaints from residents about odours coming from its wastewater treatment works at Salt End. Elsewhere, North East Lincolnshire's Diabetes Support Group is working to raise awareness of the condition, which affects around 9,000 people in the county. They say more needs to be done to educate people on prevention and for those who have it to ensure they look after themselves. It's estimated that the NHS spends £10 billion on the avoidable effects of the condition.
Yes, I mean in North East Lincolnshire there's about 9,000 people that have got diabetes and certainly nationally 90% of the sort of 3 million that have got diabetes are type 2, which can be prevented. I mean, it is mainly to do with obesity and lifestyle issues. So hopefully if we can get that message across, then we can reduce the amount of people being diagnosed with diabetes.
A section of Stallingborough Road will be closed to traffic for up to 6 weeks for the construction of a new roundabout. Work gets underway at the beginning of September for the new link road to be added to the existing B1210. Closures will be between Keelby Road, Stallingborough and just south of Willows Lakes in Immingham. It's hoped it will improve access to the ports of Immingham and reduce the number of lorries travelling through the town centre and neighbouring villages. And Hollywood movie star Johnny Depp may not be in Hull, but his costume from the blockbuster Pirates of the Caribbean film is breaking visitor number records at the city's Maritime Museum. In the last 5 weeks, more than 20,000 people have walked through its doors, doubling last year's figures for the same period, to sneak a peek at the museum's new pirate exhibition. And that's the latest from the news.
The Everyman Club of Great Grimsby was established in 1962 to bring high-quality speakers and the best in the arts, music and drama to the town. Joining me to tell us more is committee member Ray Drury. Welcome to the studio, Ray.
Thanks, I'm pleased to be here.
The club itself, 1962, it's got a bit of a history.
Yeah.
So who was involved in that initial setup?
Well, yeah, 1962 is a long time ago. And the club is entering its 54th season, so you're quite right, it's been going a long time. The two founders were Major Clixby Fitzwilliams,
Yes.
well known in this area at the time,
He was.
an eminent gentleman of the town and the surrounding area, an ex-army person, and a gentleman called Alec Redshaw, who was also very eminent in the town in the world of music.
Right.
He was a conductor and he organised choirs and orchestras and so on. And they'd, I think, seen a similar organisation in Bath down in the southwest and were inspired by what they saw and what it was bringing to that particular town at the time.
Yes.
And they thought, we should do something.
Yeah.
And they were doers.
Yes.
So they did it.
And this is it. It was set up and it's still here today.
Exactly.
I mean, over the years, you have had some quite eminent people come and talk, haven't you? I mean, has there been any big favourites that you've had?
Well, too many to mention really, and I've not been around all that time, but they always had top performers, top singers initially. It was a lot of musical bias, so they had opera singers and people like that. Orchestras came to play.
Yes.
Over the years it's evolved more in, there's still some musical element, but it's evolved more into talks about topics of
Right.
interest to the
Yes.
members.
Yes.
I remember one of the stories way back, they used to audition people
All right.
to come and present to the Everyman Club. That's how eminent we were. And the selection committee comprised 3 people from the committee. And they would go off down to London and invite people to the Dorchester, those who wished to be considered
Yes.
as speakers for the Grimsby Everyman Club.
You don't do that anymore.
No, we don't. But one interesting side note is one of the people who came for audition way back was Claire Rayner,
Oh.
you know, the well-known
Yes,
agony
yes.
aunt.
Yeah.
And she was one of a line of people who came in to do their bit, and the committee rejected her as not being up to the standard required for Great Grimsby. Now, how's that?
That's a fab story.
Can you imagine
Absolutely,
that?
yes, exactly. Being rejected. Well, at least you don't do that now
No, we don't.
for the people. I mean, members-wise, I mean, how many people actually belong to the group?
Well, at the minute, about 150.
Right.
But in its heyday, when it started, they limited the membership. This is how important this organisation was. They limited the membership to 400.
Right.
And they hit that with no trouble at all. So
Right.
much so that there was a waiting list.
To go
Yeah,
along.
now it just shows how things have changed in 50 years. But
Yeah.
back then, there was only 2 TV channels and they were black and
That-
white.
That's it, it was
exactly,
important
you see what I
thing.
mean?
And I know one thing, because I suppose the title Everyman is a bit deceiving, but it's not just men, is it? It's open to women.
I know. That is something that can cause a little bit of confusion. People who have heard of the Everyman Club
Yeah.
don't always know A, what it does, and B, who can be a member. Because as you quite rightly say, Everyman suggests men.
That's it.
And the number of people that have spoken to me about it since I became involved with the organisation said, oh, is that a secret men's club or something, or a society? You know, is it? And I said, no. In fact, I imagine we probably have more lady members
Right,
than men.
And of course, your latest chairwoman is
Yes,
a woman
it
rather
is.
than saying a
Yes,
chairman.
yeah,
but-
our new chairman this year is Susan Warren.
Brilliant.
And yeah, she's taking over the reins. But yeah, we have quite a lot, and it is open to anyone.
It is open to all. Stay with us because we're going to continue this conversation shortly after this. You're watching Estuary News. Coming up later, we find out your views on interest rises and the effect it has on financial debt. And we meet Mia, the sniffer dog, helping Humberside Police. And Erica Barker will bring you the latest sports news. Over the summer, Humberside Police have been helping young people stay safe by engaging them in activities. One activity involved the drugs sniffer dogs, who are used to help educate young people about the dangers of drugs. Dan Kemp went to meet Mia and Bobby.
PD Mia reporting for duty with her handler PC Bentley. They've been working together for a year since Mia passed through South Yorkshire Police's dog training complex. The two work together to sniff out drugs. And here's how our training works.
We set up a scenario where we have people in a room and we'll hide a synthetic drug among them people, and we'll bring the dog along. The dog has never met the people before, and then we literally set the dog tasking and get her to search through the crowd or the room or whatever it is to find the drug. When she finds the drug that's been placed, I don't know necessarily who's got it or where it's been placed. I don't need to because I'm not looking for it. The dog will search for it, find it. When she finds the source, she'll freeze, and then the reward then generally would be she would get a ball. In a training exercise, that's how we would do it. In a live environment, we don't necessarily reward them each time, because it could be that the drugs are not on the people anymore, that they've taken them, but the residue smell's still on them.
Just like her handler, Mia works day and night shifts and can be challenged in many different ways during her time on the beat.
We do pubs, clubs, nightclubs, shipping terminals, the ferry terminals, do airports. She's capable of working anywhere where there's crowds of people. If there's a queue to get in somewhere, that's a classic training area for us. Every live operation she does is a training job as far as she's concerned. She thinks she's going to win and get the ball. She doesn't necessarily. Sometimes we have negative searches deliberately built in just to prove that she's working and then we'll set a drug into the scenario to test it, and we put different drugs in as well. We have half a dozen different ones that we can use, and the idea with that is it builds up her memory bank, it keeps her sharp, and it keeps her operationally viable.
The demonstration comes as part of the force's Stay Safe Over Summer campaign to encourage young people to engage in positive activities and avoid drugs over the summer break. Mia and a second dog, Bobby the Spaniel, were funded by NHS Hull CCG and visit schools and community events to deter young people from using drugs.
Now, still with me in the studio is Ray Drury from the Everyman Club of Great Grimsby. And we were talking before then, Ray, obviously about the members and some of the names that you've had at the club. Your season kicks off on 8th of September. Who have we got lined up on the programme this time?
Well, we've got a very varied programme. Earlier in the year, we asked our members what kind of topics they would like us to put in the programme, and we've tried very hard to do that.
Yeah.
And the popular topics are generally history, travel, outdoors, gardening,
Right.
that sort of thing,
Yes.
a range of topics, music. So this year we're kicking off on the 8th with a talk about the Magna Carta.
Which is in the news, of
Big
course.
news, yes, 900 years.
Yeah.
And the speaker on that occasion will be a gentleman called Eric Grigg from the University of Manchester History Department,
Right.
who has promised us he will bust a few myths about
Oh.
Magna Carta. So
Oh.
what that is, I don't know. We look forward to finding out. So
I mean, whoever does your programme obviously has to work hard to get people in from across the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, how difficult is that?
well, it is quite difficult. There are plenty of speakers out there
Yeah.
on a range of topics. We do have a member of the committee whose job it is to find the speakers. Trying to match the speakers to the range of topics we're interested in is one challenge.
Yeah.
Secondly, getting them to come to Grimsby is another challenge.
Oh no!
And thirdly, the cost.
Right. Yes. Because imagine you
Yes, they
have to
can
pay.
be quite costly.
Yeah.
But we've found over the years that quality and cost don't necessarily go together.
Right.
We've had some brilliant talks by people who don't charge very much for their time.
Yes.
Yet just present a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
So there isn't always a correlation. We do have a few names because it's nice in the programme to have people, well-known people that the
Yes,
members
yeah.
maybe like. So this year we've got one of those speakers is Nick Barrett, who is the genealogical expert on Who Do You Think You Are?
That's right. Yes.
And
yeah.
he will be coming along to talk to us about the making of that programme and some of the anecdotes around it. The new series is just on now, I think,
Yeah.
actually, so it's quite timely.
Yeah.
Our local lady, Julie Peasgood, will be here early in the
yes,
new year.
Yeah.
In between, we're going to hear about behind the scenes of the Chelsea Flower Show. Our travel theme this year is a gentleman who's going to speak about the fountains of Rome,
Right.
which lots of people are looking forward to because there's this romantic image
Yes,
of Rome and the
yes,
fountains.
yeah,
So
yeah.
lots to entertain people, and we set out to inform, inspire and entertain our members. That's what we're about. So that's what we're trying to do.
Like you say, it's keeping them happy, isn't it?
Exactly.
Right. At least you don't have to audition your speakers anymore, which is the main thing. And before we finish, then the group meets on the first Tuesday of every month, doesn't it, at the Grimsby Institute?
It does, yeah. The meetings kick off at 7:30.
Yeah.
We ask people to be here by 7.
Okay.
Memberships are open now. It's £45
Okay.
for a full season's membership per
And of
person.
course, you've got a website. It's everymanclub.co.uk, haven't you,
Correct.
if people want more information?
Exactly.
That's all we've got time for. Thank you ever
Lovely,
so
thank
much
you.
for that. With a rise, will a rise in interest rates be an added pressure when it comes to people being able to pay their mortgage and keep a roof over their heads? That's the question we've been asking people in Grimsby's town centre today, following the announcement that they're expected to rise in February 2016.
I don't think Grimsby needs to be any more difficult than what it already is, like financially. So I don't agree with that.
That's worrying me because I've got my own house and I'm still paying for that. And if it goes up too much, what to do next, I don't know.
It's going to be really difficult because everybody, not just us, we're still paying a mortgage. And we thought we'd be mortgage free by now anyway, and we're not. So we're just working to pay our mortgage off. But everybody else is going to be in the same situation, and food's gone up, everything's gone up. You know, it's just squeezing everybody tighter and tighter and tighter.
interest rates have got to go up eventually, so it'll happen. Be all right for the savers though, won't it?
You've got to pay it, so there's only the same amount of money, so you have to cut somewhere else.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that, you know, they've had it quite reasonable prices for 5-6 years now, so I think just a little bit increase. They get used to being at a lower rate, and maybe they overstretch a bit, don't they?
Well, for me, I wouldn't be able to get a mortgage to save my life, so for me that's a big downside. It's one thing I've always wanted, a mortgage, and like I say, the interest rates, the deposits for it, and that's just not happening.
When we started buying houses in the 80s, obviously you got very high rates, so at the moment it doesn't matter really if they go up too much, because they're never going to hit what they were in the 80s.
Hopefully.
But hopefully, I don't need to. But again, it's only going to affect the small people. The big people have got the money to pay the mortgages regardless.
I think if it goes up, if it shoots suddenly up to 2% or whatever, it's going to be a bit of a shock, and it's going to be quite a struggle, because there's quite a difference obviously in the rates. So I think it might be quite a struggle for some people.
Now on the sofa with me is Erica Barker, who's going to tell us what's been happening today. Have we had a busy day?
Always a busy day.
Good.
Always a busy one. So, starting the Hull Daily Mail then, the Hull City Council has agreed to pay for upgrades for free Wi-Fi in the city centre, investing £200,000. Now, what's interesting is the power for this is coming from streetlights and CCTV cameras.
Okay.
So the technology boosts the phone's signal and allows faster download speeds.
And that's going to be over the whole of Hull City Centre. You can get free Wi-Fi.
Well, what it is they're going to have some free Wi-Fi hotspots in the city.
You'll be crowded around one lamppost.
I'm not sure. I can't tell you where these hotspots are going to be. But where these hotspots aren't, companies the council is going to make them pay a small amount, they say, to be able to use this technology and have this service to improve what they can offer to their customers. So it's all to do with city and culture, to do with the 25 million upgrade programme ahead of 2017.
Yeah.
And this is part of it, really. So, I mean, but it's good news, isn't it? It's vital.
It's money, again, yeah. Every city should really do that, I suppose, shouldn't they?
Yeah, everyone needs.
We're always complaining about broadband speeds and phone signals.
Very true.
Next, what have we got?
So next up then, so you know about the Dad's Army film that's coming out? It's
yes, filmed in Bridlington, wasn't it?
Now, there is a battle raging between Bridlington and, do you know what, I want to say Thetford. 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 I thought I wasn't pronouncing it correctly. I thought I'll double check on that one. In Norfolk. Now, over which town can rightfully claim to be the home of Dad's Army? Now, this is because...
You are joking.
Yeah, it's all kicking off, Emma. This is because Bridlington...
Over a fictional town.
And the surrounding areas was chosen for the location of filming several of the scenes. But obviously, the show was originally filmed in Thetford. So there is, you know, this anger raging over who should be selected as the twin town. But wait, I mean, I know you're saying this.
My face says it all.
But the thing is, Bridlington are saying that they have seen a 134% rise in hotel bookings in Bridlington.
But they will
this summer.
But do they really need to go far to twin with a fictional town?
But to twin with it, if this is going to bring the people in, if this is going to bring tourism in.
Yeah, but surely people will go anyway, regardless whether they're twinned with a fictional town, won't they?
No, maybe it's a nice title to have.
Okay, move on.
Well, Grimsby's motorcycle racer, Guy Martin, has written a book with proceeds going towards spinal research, and it's called When You're Dead, You're Dead. When You're Dead, You're Dead. And this comes as he recovers from a back injury, and this forced him to postpone his land speed record attempt.
Okay, when's
so
that
this
book out then?
Coming out.
I have to get him on the sofa.
It's available now for pre-order, and the release for worldwide distribution, it says, is October the 22nd.
Interesting read then, isn't it?
Very much so.
And your next one's about baby names.
It is.
Are you on it?
My name's not on it. No, I'm not on it. I always get gutted because, you know, when you go to shops, diverting, but you know, when you get the little key rings, you never get Erica on any kind of merchandise. If anyone sees any, let me know, but I never see it.
Don't have Eric, and you can't just write an A on the end.
Yeah, they've got Eric, haven't they? Maybe I should just stick a sticker on. Anyway,
okay,
so the most popular names in the region are Olivia, and Amelia.
Oh, what
so
about
Olivia
boys?
and Amelia. It's not Olivia, it's Oliver. Oliver is the most popular boy's name and Amelia is the most popular girl's name. This comes from the Office for National Statistics.
Oh dear.
Now, I've got...
Rather quick, because we're going to have to move you on. Weird name. They've got, I know Game of Thrones names are on there, aren't they?
Yeah, there are a couple. And just to let you know, in London, Mohammed was the most popular boy's name and Olivia was the most popular girl's name. So we are different to London.
Right,
Nothing's different to the south.
I'm going to leave it there. Now it's over to Erica for the sports news.
Grimsby Town head to Altrincham tonight, fresh from 4-1 victories over Barrow and Bromley, hoping to continue their winning run. Scunthorpe United will wear their yellow and navy away kits for the first time in the league when they take on Wigan away this Wednesday. And Hull City take on Fulham on the same night at the KC Stadium after their 1-1 draw with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Cleethorpes Now and Cleethorpes Town are getting set to meet Albion Sports on the pitch this weekend, coming off the back of booking their place in the preliminary round of the FA Cup, having beaten Brick Town 5-1 with goals from Jonathan Oglesby, Peter Wynn, Mark Cooper, Daniel Trott and Brodie Robertson. Rugby and Hull Kingston Rovers have teamed up with 80s pop group Erasure to record a charity version of their song A Little Respect to mark the club's appearance in this season Ladbrokes Challenge Cup final. Proceeds will be split between a number of charities. Hull FC are encouraging youngsters to consider a career in sport, with the team's Learning Centre now recruiting 16 to 18-year-olds for their sports education programme, with people being able to learn firsthand from the professionals in the field. And that's all from the sport.
Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you to my guest, Ray Drury from the Everyman Club of Great Grimsby. If you've a news story, then visit our Facebook or Twitter pages or email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 315 553. And before we do go, Erica, just tell me the Games of Thrones names.
The Game of Thrones names. What have I got?
Khaleesi was one of them,
wasn't
it?
Khaleesi, Arya and Tyryon. I've never seen it before.
Tyrion.
Arya. I've learned something today.
I'm going now. Bye.
Hello and welcome to Estuary TV's weather. Wednesday, rain should die off by mid-morning, brighter afternoon but more rain overnight, and highs of 22 degrees. Showers for most of Thursday with some sunny spells.